Hey everybody, this is Joe with Candid at the Movies, and again, I have my very special guest,
Dee. Hi.
and today we're going to discuss the documentary called Our Father. It's a Netflix exclusive. So Dee, you had a lot to say, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you go.
Oh, let me get my emotions together. It's a very good documentary, but it's a very angry documentary. So for those who don't know, Our Father is on Netflix, and it features this prominent infertility doctor named Dr. Donald Cline, who helps his women patients get pregnant. And as we delve deeper into the story, we realize that instead of using the provided semen from the woman's partner, he used his own semen. Essentially, as they describe in the documentary, he would go masturbate and then insert that into his client. And so all of the ramifications that come out from that, it made me so angry because there is a sanctity, a clear line of what he did, of like the medical, of what he did and what he's not supposed to do. I forget what the term is, the do your patient no harm. Mm-hmm. There is clear intent and harm in that there, and there's so much more that goes into that documentary, but it really made me angry about the implications that come from it. And so we are following this story through the eyes and hands of what they call sibling number one. I'm forgetting her name at the moment, but the documentary actually uses both the victims and some actors that are in that. So if you're looking it up, you actually won't find the name of the actors because of that. But we're following that and her journey of wanting to know, she felt like she didn't belong. She was the only child. She felt like there were some others out there. She got a DNA test and started getting branches off. And so curious, she started digging deeper, and more of these branches started popping off. And the deeper that she dug, the more wounds basically opened up, to the point where in the end, as they were rolling credits, I think just from Dr. Donald Cline alone, there were 94 siblings that came out of this in a 25-mile radius. And so there are some victims, some of his own children that have come out of this, that live a few blocks away from the doctor, and some of them still have no idea. And so as the way that the sibling number one described it was, you get the DNA test and you get so excited, you see all of these branches, and then she reaches out to you and say, hey, you might be confused about your DNA test. Let me, give me a call. I think it was like sibling 25 or 43. It was a lot. That actually was like, they got that message from the first sibling and was like, I don't want to open that. They realized they were part of that case because of an episode that happened on Dr. Phil, and she was like, oh. That's how I first learned about this case. Through Dr. Phil? Mm-hmm. Talk about it.
Well, Dr. Cline is one of many, but he's the one who started it off with this whole quiverful movement. Mm-hmm. If you don't know what the quiverful movement is, I'm not going to get too deep into what that is. Go to Google Scholar. Yeah. Google Scholar. Right. Go to Google Scholar to check out what that is, because I don't want the algorithm to mess with us too much, because we don't want to talk about those things too much. But basically, Dr. Cline, due to this, one, because of his over religiosity, mm-hmm. and his
Jeremiah 1:5 was the scripture that he kept referring to, which I think it said, before you were knitted in the womb, I knew you.
Yeah. And so he kept using that as an excuse, because he was, a very religious church person. I don't know if he was a deacon or what, but he used to teach a lot and things like that. An elder. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. And it's one of those things where Dr. Cline was one of the guys that you wouldn't expect to do that. They were, mm-hmm. The type of person that you would invite over to your home. They seemed very kind and giving.
Very sweet, unassuming.
Yeah, exactly.
Which made the nature of what he was doing even more insidious, mm-hmm. because, this was and there was sibling number 45 or something like that. Hers was even more twisted because she found out that Dr. Cline was her dad and was also her OBGYN that helped her get pregnant. Mm-hmm. So it's just like the fallout from his decision, and he never apologized. Like the siblings got together and confronted him at a dinner and was like, we want to know why, what was your reasoning behind this? Like, why did you think that this was okay? Because the rules stated that they only used a specimen 3 times and they didn't, and that was it. But clearly 94 siblings and counting, they still don't know how many siblings are attached to this one doctor.
And truth is, he wouldn't have been able to use his sperm because he had a
autoimmune disease. So if he would have gone through the proper protocol, he actually would have been ruled out because of his autoimmune disease. And we didn't know that until throughout the documentary, some of the siblings were saying, you know, we needed to get more like the medical research of the DNA test that they took, because some were having digestive issues, some were having like dental issues, and it all was stemming back to autoimmune disease.
Right. And so with that, I think that, you know, this documentary did delve deeper than, you know, we're going to go in this review, but it did delve deeper into not only was he one, but there were 4 other doctors who did the same thing. And there may be more. But one thing that is messed up is that this wasn't exactly a crime.
It's still not a crime.
Yeah.
He got charged because he lied on documents, and that was what got him arrested and charged for felony count 1 or something like that. Yeah. But the actual act of what he did, which is crazy, is technically not a crime, state or federal.
State or federal. I think they finally put one in Indiana, in the state of Indiana. Where
2018.
Yep. They finally have one in the state of Indiana, but I don't know about any other state, but
yeah,
and it's definitely not a federal law. So D, what would you rate this documentary?
Oh man. In terms of I would rate it an A. It's infuriating, and because it's a true story, it's maddening because there is no like clear cut like, oh, justice was given to the victims. No, the victims are still suffering, but just to learn about what this is happening and, you know, make you think and ponder and then start to ask those harder questions of like, okay, so if this is allowed to happen, then what is the fallout from all of that one decision that's made? And it's something that you'll have to sit through, but I would give it an A.
I would give it a B, just because I would like to see it from the other side as well. More from the other side, more from Dr. Cline's perspective. And I know, you know, we can invariably say that this man was wrong, but I want to see where he was coming from, not just having a finger pointed at him, but I want to see how he would justify his actions.
He ain't never gonna justify him.
So anyway, I would again give it a B. Again, this has been Candid at the Movies, and this is D. Tell them how to find you.
You can find me on Instagram at IamDStafford.
At IamDStafford. And you know, again, this has been Joe for Candid at the Movies. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our content. Now, I hope that you all have a good one. Take care. Bye.